Hello, Internet. Happy Wednesday. Happy May 6th. I am reporting today from origin, from Assam, India, to give a nice industry update of what's going on in the world. You can see I'm here in the tea fields of Assam, India, and more specifically Dibrugarh, India. Beautiful place in the world. If you ever get a chance, you should definitely try to come here. Very sunny, very green. Unfortunately, the green coming from the tea plants, but the soil here is not looking so sharp. Lots of agriculture chemicals and other things. Let me just make sure that all of our friends are invited here before we get started and I start giving this news from the source. How do you guys like my new look? I've been working on it. I'm a dinosaur now. I don't know what kind of dinosaur I am. If you can recognize the kind of dinosaur, ooh, I got a long neck. If you can recognize the kind of dinosaur I am, I'd greatly appreciate if you could comment the kind of dinosaur, what dinosaur you believe I am. And if you guys want to see me as a dinosaur, you should visit the live video that is playing all throughout the internet on TLET's Facebook page, on our Periscope, which is Twitter's live stream, on Twitch, as well as on YouTube. Thank you. I love this visual too, Terry. I like this one. I think I'm going to stick with this one, especially whenever I have important industry updates to offer to the world, to offer to the tea world. So yeah, let me get started. I just wanted to give a little update of some articles that have been going around about the Assam tea industry, which is, probably one of the largest, or is the largest industry origin in India. An article came out today that says that the tea industry loss of 500 crore rupee and for just Assam, for their tea industry. And in Assam, the tea industry is the biggest organized industry of the state. So this is major. This is not some small thing. Just to give some reference, I'll let you know what 500 crore means to the rest of the people around the world. So 500 crore rupee is essentially 5 billion rupees, and 5 billion rupees translates to roughly about $65 million US. That's a lot of money. And that is losses of the entire industry due to this pandemic that we're dealing with. So this is multiple pronged. It starts with the shutdown. So the tea estates are literally not able to. The hairdo throws me off. Yeah, well, I got a little haircut. Yeah, I got a little haircut. Let's see what kind of effect. So I got a little short shoulder. Oh, yeah. If I want to move my hands around, I got that. I can. It's always fun learning what my my puppet can do. What's this? Oh, Excuse me. Wow. You saw I'm not wearing any pants today. That's embarrassing. Okay, so back to the news, to more important, pressing things. So yeah, this loss of $65 million US for the Assam tea industry is directly connected to the COVID-19 pandemic. And so this is huge for India. This would be huge for the States as well. I mean, I haven't seen any direct figures of how the US tea market has been affected by the pandemic. I'm sure once that information starts to get shared, we'll understand that more. But this is coming from the source, from the origin, which is really important for us to keep an eye on because, yeah, we need our tea. And we need to protect our source. So, I first started hearing about the losses in Assam directly through emails that I would receive from tea producers stating that they were facing economic hardships and were looking for investment. Uh, Cold email, just looking for direct investment, no understanding or transparency about what that investment would get one. Um, but the fact that someone is sending cold emails like that really does say a lot about the dire condition that the industry must be facing at source. So the rest of this article, which I saw this article cross-posted across 4 different news outlets, so this is definitely getting around. um, 820 companies employ 28,000 workers, while 783 big tea gardens and 10,180 small tea gardens have already started functioning. So even though the lockdown is happening, which I've come to learn, the official lockdown of India will continue until May 17th. So if you're waiting for any business from India, um, just got to be patient for a few more weeks. May 17th is the new extended lockdown period for the country. Obviously, certain industries are being allowed to go back to work, such as the tea industry. So yeah, that did account for a lot of this loss in the market, and or loss for these industries. Is just that they couldn't produce the tea. But now we have the second effect of this pandemic is that the market is kind of at a standstill. I'm not. We've talked about this before that there has been some increase in online sales, but the majority of distribution of specialty tea um, is in restaurants. It is in food service, and I think even commodity level product is also down because people are consuming less, people are conserving more, and so there has been an effect on the market. And so that's the other issue with the loss of the industry, of the economic loss in the industry. And this is the part that's unpredictable and unknown, is how fast will the market recover and revive back to its rate before, or if it ever will. So it's a lot of uncertainty here. So they are estimating that they will incur a loss of 80 million kilos of tea. So that's like 8,000 tons, 80,000 tons. It's a lot of tea. That's a lot of tea. Just to put it into reference, Tealet only goes through about 20 tons of tea a year. So that's a lot of tea to be lost, which is valued at 1,218 crore. So that's it's going to be almost $1 billion. No, not $1 billion. maybe like $200 million. That's the anticipated total loss as a result of the pandemic. Again, a lot is unpredictable and unknown of how quickly the market will recover and if it ever will recover back to its former state. Just a little bit of reference of how much tea Assam produces per year. In 2019, the region produced 715 million kilos. So yeah, they're 80 million. I see. Okay, which is around 52% of India's total tea production of 1,389 million kilos. But due to the lockdown, production figures are expected to dip by 32 million kilos, which translates to losses of more than 500 crore. So that's where they got that number. That's pretty impressive. In 1990, Assam's tea production was at 388 million. So that's pretty incredible how quickly the region has increased its production. That's more than double, almost double, just in a 20-year period, less than 20-year period. And you know, I would assume that majority of that is going to the domestic market. Terry says that we need to order more online now before prices go up. You know, my prediction is that prices will not go up. I think, you know, there is a little bit of a rumor going around, and, you know, what's the word? I'm forgetting the word, but it's just not true. That it's manipulated information to build artificial confidence in the industry and in the market that the prices will actually increase due to a smaller supply. And that works. In, you know, supply and demand economics, that's how it works. When there is a decreased supply, like let's say there's a drought or there's something that happens in that season, that harvest season, that reduces the quantity of product in the market, that will drive the price up, right? Because there's more scarcity in that, more exclusivity in that, and that causes the price to go up. But in this case, we have this other effect that is even more powerful than the effect of the limited supply, is the market demand. And so when the demand is going down and the supply is going down, that is not going to have the same effect of driving the prices up. So as far as what we have seen in reputable news articles about the price of tea in India, the prices have gone down. The only number that we've seen, definitive number that we've seen, is that the prices have gone down 40%. And so that makes sense because the market effects of this pandemic so far, in dealing with the stock market and dealing with even commodities such as petrol, we've seen prices going down. So I don't think that we should, you know, try to hoard tea with the fear that price will go up. If you wanted to think in that perspective, we should have started hoarding tea years ago when we started seeing that there was going to be some negative consequences from climate change on our supply of tea. That is true. And people have been saying this for years. Most notably is Nigel Milliken from Teacraft in the UK. He's one of the world's top tea consultants. He started saying a few years ago that within the next 10 years, it's very likely that a lot of our favorite producers of tea and supplies of tea will be in a very different state. You know, be it more mechanized, more intention towards extracts and finding applications for those products. You're always, someone on Instagram says as a pu'er drinker, he's always in tea hoarding mode. That's true too. Yeah, because with pu'er teas or teas that can be aged, there's no fear in hoarding it. If you have the resources to do so, you'll be rewarded with, very good tea in the future. And so there is truth to that. And yeah, if you have the extra resources and capital to, maybe hoard is not the correct term, but to invest in the things that you value, especially things that have a long shelf life and have increased value over time, like pu'er tea, and not limited to just pu'er tea. We're talking about black teas and oolong teas, and even white teas and some green teas too. It definitely wouldn't be a bad choice to start holding on to some tea for yourself if you're a business as well. Um, I think last time I heard Nigel Milliken give this presentation to a the UC Davis Global Tea Initiative. He did he did crack a joke about how people that have the tea stocks for 30 years from now are going to be the lucky ones. So yeah, there's some merit to tea hoarding, but I don't think that we should hoard tea with fear that the price will go up. If anything, there's fear of the supply being threatened, and not just by this immediate economic issue that I'm talking about right now, but due to climate change is going to be a much more impactful effect than this pandemic that we're dealing with right now. So back to the article, I will finish sharing the information with you. So now that the lockdown has been relaxed to some degree, there is production happening in Assam, India, but there is a lot of risk and a lot of cash flow issues. And so right now the industry is seeking out investment. This is quoted directly from the article. It says, there is speculation that many US, Japanese, Korean companies are considering moving out of their manufacturing facilities from China to India. To persuade these companies, the Assam government has taken up the matter with the Indian government and Japanese and US trade and business bodies, including the US India Business Council and the US Chamber of Commerce as well, to try and motivate and attract few of these companies to Assam. So this is their strategy for investments to support the cash flow issues of the Assam tea industry. With abundant natural and human resources, Assam's strategic locational advantage, robust industrial infrastructures, and dependable connectivity makes a huge industry-friendly environment. So we may start seeing a lot of industry in Assam, and maybe not tea industry specific, but other industries. And last time that I went to Assam, I did see that there has been some major expansion and growth of industrial business in the area, unrelated to tea. A lot of it related to plastics, and other products that we conventionally think of China when we think of. So the interesting developments, and if we see that change, we could know that it does have some connection to the tea industry, and that it's investing the continued supply of Assam tea for the world. And final note on this article is that the government has set up something called Assam Startup, the Nest, and it is intended to guide, inspire, and mentor enterprising youths returning to Assam from different states. So that is something nice, that this pandemic has returned people to the rural areas, to be with their families, to support their families during this time. And, at this time, because, things have become so extended for so long, that um, the youth are starting to build some roots and dig some roots in their home village, which is always an issue with tea. Prior to the pandemic, with all of the globalization and commercial growth, it became very unattractive for young people to be in the village, to be in the tea growing community, because they could have a far more prosperous life living in the city, working in the city, having a tech job, having some type of corporate job, and sending money back to the family to support them, because the life of a tea farm worker, even an independent small tea grower, like what the majority of the Assam industry is set up in tea cultivation, um, it's uh, it's always been more attractive to have your youth, to have your children in the city to take care of the family in the village. Um, so it's incredible now that the pandemic has brought people back home, and now these young people are trying to build their own roots and trying to build their own opportunities, which will help these communities build more resilience for the future, beyond this pandemic and beyond what we're dealing with right now. So that's kind of the light at the end of this tea industry updates. Let's hope that those young people decide to go onto the path of becoming a tea master so that they can become a renowned artisanal tea maker, and gets to sell their tea throughout the developed markets of India and the specialty markets around the world, like us. That's what we'd like to support. I give all these numbers and update of what's going on in the Assam industry, and just want to give a reminder that majority of this tea that we're talking about is tea that specialty tea drinkers would never even know of or would never drink. This is tea that's going not only into tea bags, it's mostly being produced for the domestic market to be used in milk tea, which milk tea, chai tea, that's funny, it's like saying tea, chai, masala chai, or milk chai. Those are very comforting and symbolic symbols of Indian culture, modern culture, I should say. Very important to separate that it's modern culture. But it's not the orthodox artisanal teas that the specialty tea lover is used to drinking. So if you see these doom and gloom type of articles and updates about the failing industry and the lack of hope there is for it, don't assume that it is a direct threat to the specialty tea that you may be thinking of. That is definitely a part of the industry that we can continue to support, by enjoying tea. And hope that you guys can all find ways to enjoy it. We, of course, have our website, teaanditspeople.com now, where you can browse all of our different teas and order them for yourself. So that's a great resource for supporting specialty tea. And you can trust that if you get tea from us, we will make sure that all the supporters are well supported, and having a sustainable future. So that is my tea industry update for the day. I appreciate all of you enjoying my new puppet. Let's see if I can get the head to... No. Some of these puppets let you like grab their hands and do things, but this one doesn't look like it does that. That's cool. Alright, with that, I think I'm going to return to my desk, return to my tea table, and drink some tea with you guys. And hopefully someone will want to hop in the tea room to chat with me. The tea room is open. Actually, let me put the link up so that you guys can see it and know to come here. I'll take this time now to discuss. Here we go. Just come to this link, bit.ly/tlettea. Hi, Boudica, how are you doing? How was your webcast this morning, your tasting? I missed it, but I'll watch the replay of it. Actually, let me see if it's up. Maybe I can play a little bit for the live show right now. It's sunny here in Vegas, you see? Things here in Vegas are good. Starting to get hot. Oh, I forgot I'm still in Assam. On the Facebook Live or the live on the internet, I am sitting at a news desk in Assam, India. Super fun. So yeah, please, feel free to join the tea room. The link is there. If you go bit.ly/tletteaparty. I'm trying to find... Oh, here we go. I'm trying to find the video of your tasting this morning. Our friend in Sri Lanka, oh, it's not up yet. I'll have to wait until it's up. And I would love to... What am I trying today? I actually haven't even started drinking tea yet. I've been too busy doing this this industry update. Let me go get the tea, the water. You can't hear me. You should be able to hear me. Amber, maybe you need to turn the mic or turn the volume up. Dave, let me go get the tea, the water. Yeah, it's playing audio here for me. Yeah. All right. I don't know what tea to drink. What do you think I should drink? I've got a bunch here. Everything from oolong, black tea, white tea, pu'er tea. So tomorrow is an exciting day, and the reason why I am practicing with the puppet here on Facebook is because tomorrow we're going to be doing a rebroadcast, a very special rebroadcast of the Virtual Tea Festival on Twitch. So Twitch is a streaming website that is usually more targeted towards gamers and, you know, other tech related communities. So, you know, we're trying to reach a new audience that I'm sure is already drinking tea, accustomed to drinking tea, but, you know, may not be as connected as we are through these social media platforms. So yeah, I just want to try to find a way to get them connected and drinking tea together. So the broadcast will run from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. Pacific time. So got to do a little calculations of when that is in your area. It's an early morning for me. I usually don't get my day started that early. But it's okay. For the tea community, I'm more than happy to do that. So the tea that I decided to drink here, let me get back to the desk for everybody else so that way. Everybody can see me. And please join me in the at the virtual tea table by going to that link if you feel prepared to. You can even turn your camera off, that's okay. If I know who you are, of course. If I don't know who you are, I might not be able to keep you there, because gotta watch out for them trolls on Zoom. So yeah, the tea that I brought to brew is called Black Pearl. It is a highly oxidized tea from Taiwan. Alright, maybe it's... Here I am. Hi everybody. Good to see you. See my hair. I really didn't cut it that short. In the animation of me reporting from Assam, India, I had short hair, but no, my hair is still very long here. So I'll show you the tea. It's a little wet here, but it's a bald oolong, like classic Taiwanese style. Ooh, look, getting some sunshine. I like that. You can see it too. It's amazing when you're brewing these bald oolongs, whenever you first, you know, put them in or first start brewing with them, you're always surprised with how little tea you need to steep. After I finish steeping this tea, this will probably expand and completely fill this gaiwan, but right now it seems like it's so little bit of tea, and that's just because it gets processed to be so compact. So as is expected with a higher oxidized oolong tea, it has deeper sweet notes to it, like brown sugar. You know, that's how you can imagine the difference between, you know, a black tea or a green tea is that, or, you know, a higher oxidized. So yeah, Terry, the tea festival, I am going to like restream it across all the different platforms in addition to Twitch, but Twitch is going to be the main platform that I will be encouraging people to go to for. Oh, that's fun. Turn that mute off. Sorry, that was Twitch. I'm just putting the link here for the Twitch profile. That's where we're going to be like instigating the most conversations and interactivity to happen. If you don't feel comfortable on that platform, it's too new for you. You know, we will be broadcasting it here on Facebook. I can't guarantee that we will be as engaged with your questions and comments as quickly as we were last time that we broadcasted the virtual tea festival. But we'll try our best. I'll try to be jumping back and forth between the Facebook and the Twitch stream to answer everybody's questions. Sorry for my camera angle. I've been playing around with my computer to make sure I'm ready for tomorrow's broadcast, because it's going to be a long time. I'm going to be broadcasting for 6 hours straight, so I need to make sure everything is rigged up just right for the party, for the festival, I should call it. So, as we usually do on Thursdays, we will be collaborating with Tea Talks, our friend. Hi, Gabby. Good to see you. Got the Vegas sun with me today. We will be collaborating our live stream, our broadcast, with Tea Talks, which is a I don't have the link to it yet. It is a virtual tea house that our friend Sam Kaplan from Safety Tea Shop has put together and managed, that I collaborate with on, and invite our community to come interact with other tea lovers on that platform. Tomorrow's Tea Talks, which is open to all the public, you guys will all be welcomed to join with us there and converse. And the speakers will be the same, but here's the thing. Only about half of them are going to be presenting, and we're giving them double the time. Actually, we're giving them like triple the time. To be able to do live Q&As after their presentation. So even though you've seen their presentation before, it'll be a much richer experience for you, because now you'll be able to actually engage with them and ask them questions that you might have had from before, because last time we were on such a time crunch that we weren't able to address everybody's questions. So that's the good news about tomorrow. So the Tea Talks Tea Room, I highly recommend that all of you be prepared to participate in it, because it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be much more than this interactivity and, drinking tea with new tea friends. There's actually going to be like a choose your own adventure sort of activity to get you to your virtual tea room. We have 12 different hosts that will be hosting different rooms, and to discover which room you want to enjoy and join, you will go through the virtual tea house choose your own adventure path to find out what you would like to do. So I'm really excited about that. I was going to kind of show it to you now, but it seems that it's not ready just yet. We'll have to wait till tomorrow. It will be a surprise. There is a link that you can visit to sign up for it. And let me put that link here. Now, if you sign up here, we will remind you and give you all the proper instructions about how to enter the virtual tea house. And I'll go ahead and post that across our social media as well, so that you guys have access to that, and you can just enter your information. It's mostly just your email address, so that way. Last time we had done the Eventbrite sign up to make sure that we could let everybody know about the broadcast, but now we're doing this sign up, which is a lot more secure as well than Eventbrite. So yeah, please go ahead and sign up if you anticipate to join us tomorrow for the Tea Talks. Always lots of great conversations going on there. And nice tea friends, new tea friends to meet from all over the world. So yeah, I was talking about degree of oxidation in tea and how it affects the final profile of the tea. when the tea is lower in oxidation, and this is mostly applicable for oolong teas, right? Because that's the category of tea that has the most variation depending on oxidation. The lower in oxidation, the more flowery the character will be. And that's in aroma. That's also in its texture. So it's going to be like more kind of like fresh cut grass type of astringency and kind of roughness to it. Versus a higher degree of oxidation is going to be giving you like deeper sweetness, that of fruity, fruity type of sweetness. I think of like stone fruits, like pears, or not pears, I'm sorry, but like peaches or, fruits that have like a deeper sweetness to them. I always think about like what happens to sugar when you caramelize it. It's not the same reaction that's happening in oxidation of tea, but the changes that happen are very similar. Not exactly similar, but they're very similar in that it's like darker in color, so that's a similarity, and that the sweetness turns from like this bright sweetness to this like deeper, lower sweetness, almost bitter, but not bitter. Um, but that could be, like tannins, which is something completely different. So you can see this tea brewed. It's not completely dark, but it's pretty dark. A greener oolong would be like more yellowy in color, less, more opaque, or no, less opaque. Oh, my brother wants to come in. Let's see what Mike wants to talk about. Hey, Mike. How are you doing? Looks like your mic might be off. It's funny, it's a common issue with Zoom. Hey, Mike. I can hear you now.
Right, how's it going?
I'm good.
Figured I'd come in just to test the Zoom room for tomorrow's virtual tea festival. Make sure everything's ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go. I'm not broadcasting my puppet into it just now. I could, I guess, if I turn it back on. You want me to try that?
Try that. Yeah, you just select your go down to your video option and select camera twist, and it should come right up.
No, well, I had to turn the puppet off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's always the issue.
Yeah.
What are you drinking today, Mike?
I think I'm just some Paquicha.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So if I have this Zoom camera on, and then if I turn the puppet on, then it works.
Okay.
Because that's still working for you, right? So yeah. Let's see.
There might be a way for us to like just disable the camera within the other application to where it'll work for Zoom instead of having to close it down.
So it's not letting me choose cam twist, even though cam twist is working proper. That one's working proper.
Were you planning to do Zoom interaction tomorrow?
No. So this is just like an extra bell or whistle. Yeah, it's not working. I'm sure if we could play with the system and get it to work. But for tomorrow, yeah, I'm just going to be doing Zoom rooms to capture people's videos to answer the Q&A portion. Yeah. But the puppet looked good. I liked it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
It looked very official.
Yeah. Newsworthy. That's why you post it to the tea planters, so we'll see.
Yeah.
See if they find it newsworthy enough.
They'll say, "What does this dinosaur know?"
Yeah.
The dinosaur trying to educate all the dinosaurs. That's funny, right?
Yeah.
That was a lot of money, though, huh? $650 million expected loss so far.
Yeah, it's like, just, I mean, Darjeeling got hit by this 3 years ago during the strike, so, it's like not like I guess this is going to be the worst of it from current events. But
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if the Darjeeling strike was, a bigger issue than this, but where can you find links? So Terry, I just sent the links. They're on the comments of the video for signing up tomorrow to make sure you get the emails and notifications. Use this link. I just posted directly to you. Go to that link and fill in your email so that we can contact you. I know it's a little confusing. That website that we're taking you to is it's a new platform. It's very difficult to explain. If I was to explain it all right now, it would take its own show. Perhaps in the future, I'll use the opportunity here to explain what it is and my enthusiasm for participating in this website. But it's a co-op. It's a storytelling platform, and it's intended to be very simple and very not consumer facing. It's not meant to be, a fancy website to get you to buy products. It's a storytelling platform. So it's a very simple purpose. Just go to that link and fill out the form. It's a safe, very secure website. And that website is where that virtual tea house, choose your own adventure journey, will be hosted. So you'll become very familiar with the flow of that website as a storytelling platform. It's pretty cool. It's like a rabbit hole. It can take you very deep into different nodes of information. Yeah, it's intended, Michael, to be like post-it notes kind of a thing. So you're not meant to like write one big page with all the information, all the like one article with all the information. You're meant to just share an idea, and if there's more to that idea, then you create a whole new page and then share that idea. And if there's another idea after that, then you create another new page. And it kind of takes you on this flow, which, you could end up spending hours going through several different memos. They're called memos. So, yeah, it's kind of like a post-it note. So how's Austin doing?
They extended the stay-at-home order until the 15th.
Okay.
So even though the state opened up, Austin decided to close down. Even a lot of the businesses weren't going to open up. They saying like movie theaters are going to open up. They decided not to. So a lot of businesses were already forward thinking on that. They were also ahead of the game too when they first started the shutdown. Businesses 3 days before were already doing it themselves. So yeah, it's still the same, but stores are doing like curbside pickup. So I'm about to go to um, Academy later to pick up an order curbside. So a lot of these retail stores are offering that. So you order online, pay, and then once you get there, you call them, and then you roll down your back window. They throw it in. So yeah, if you have your front windows up, they'll ask you to roll up your front windows and roll your back window down, and then they'll throw it in there.
Oh, that's serious.
So like Best Buy was doing that even during the lockdown. So Best Buy, there were like one of the businesses, essential businesses, open. So I could sort of see other retail following that model. Yeah, people would try to walk up and go into the store, and people outside were telling them, "No, you have to order online and curbside, bring the car."
Yeah. I wonder if that's going to change retail, after all of the stay-at-home orders are done and we go back to normal, if people are going to become so accustomed with the whole curbside pickup thing.
Yeah, I think for the consumer, they feel safer. For the store, they feel safer for their employees. So, I mean, as a safety factor, why wouldn't you? Why risk bringing people in and then having to disinfect and then we're keeping up on that. So I think this helps out.
Well, even for convenience too, I think people are going to become accustomed to that convenience of being able to not have to deal with interacting with anybody or walking around a place and searching for what they want. They can just do it on their phone before they go, and it's all ready for them to pick up.
Yeah, even for fast food, it's happening here. So I find myself ordering stuff online and I still go to the drive-through, but you just tell them, hey, I placed an online order, and they'll tell you to park, and then somebody come out and roll down your back window to throw it in. It keeps you in your little bubble, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read some articles yesterday that some of the fast food chains are having supply chain issues. Wendy's in particular, that was the main chain that was mentioned in the article, that 20% of Wendy's locations don't have any beef anymore.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, here Pete Terry's is the local burger shop. I didn't see any issues there, so I guess it must maybe just that meat distributor.
Yeah.
But I mean, you probably know more about this. Is distribution of meat? It all comes from one processor.
Yeah. So Wendy's is unique of all the fast food restaurants, and the only reason why I know this is because when I worked at Maze Meat, we made patties for Wendy's. And the reason why we did that versus, most others are a very centralized place where the patties get frozen and then they can be distributed everywhere. But Wendy's is unique in that they have all fresh patties. So that's why they work with a distributed network of processors that will make the patties for them. The patties, of course, come from frozen meat. But from when the patty gets made to the Wendy's, it's not frozen. So that might be why there is some supply chain issues, is because a lot of those smaller scale meat processors, more localized meat processors, are having issues with keeping up with the demand.
I guess that would suck for small towns where possibly there is only a Wendy's. Wendy's or maybe one other place to eat. So I mean that could suck, but here in Austin, there's plenty of other choices to select from. So
yeah, or you can just cook every meal, and that doesn't suck at all. I think I don't know if people are considering that enough. That that is a viable option. Are you doing a lot of cooking, Michael? You trying to make some stuff from scratch? Trying to?
There's other professionals that do a lot better than me that I enjoy, and it's been what 3 weeks since last time I went to the store, and then before then, so it's 5 weeks, 6 weeks ago is when I went to the store and stocked up, cooked for 2 weeks, and then once that ran out, I'm back supporting the local restaurants again. So
Well, this has come up a couple of times in our live videos that some businesses are saying that they're actually uh, losing money being open. You know, so I don't know if like saying that we're supporting the local restaurant by demanding, you know, curbside pickup is the right, you know, is the right perspective.
and I think it's their choice. I feel like they make that choice because they want to feed people. So
Yeah, exactly. So that's the reason why they're open. They're open as
yeah.
a service to the community.
And they also want to keep their employees employed. So
Yeah.
even though having to cut the majority of their staff, still those few that they employ helps and feeding the people. So it's a way to advertising. I mean, people are
Yeah,
going to
it's
remember that.
marketing.
They're going to remember that, hey, this person was open the whole time, knowing that they lost money. So
Yeah.
and here in Austin, people tip good. So hopefully with all that stimulus check that everybody has, be able to push that along.
Yeah. Hopefully they had left over from, having to pay their rent or whatever bills.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people that in my apartment complex around me, it seems like a lot of people work remotely.
Well, there's a lot of tech, right?
So.
There's a lot of tech jobs in Austin, yeah. Which is like really feasible to. But then whenever the market affects, like Uber, for instance, is starting to lay off people, not just drivers are suffering, but their actual like tech employees, because the market is affecting their business. But just gives us more time to be entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trying some things, like with Lyft. They were trying to do like deliver stuff for you. Like, well, I want to send this to grandma, or send this somewhere, or this, or business to business deliveries.
Yeah.
They were to supplement by new services like that. Uber Eats, they tried a little, but still, I don't think Uber Eats did too well here in Austin. It seemed like Grubhub took more market share than that, but they're still trying. Uber.
Yeah. Well, there's did you see that viral thing from last week where a restaurant owner shared their report from their Grubhub account showing, how many sales were made and then all the fees broken down and how much money actually made it back to the restaurant? I think the restaurant had done like $850 in sales and then received only like $130 or even something like $38. Something really bad. It was a really bad. There was so many fees on top of it. So a lot of restaurant owners are trying to encourage people to try to order directly from the restaurant, so that way they can.
Yep, I find myself doing that, and it's good that restaurants are doing that. They're understanding the cost, and I see that. I guess there's other services out there that can bring their menus online and for a lot cheaper and not taking.
Yeah, I
those
mean,
big
the
foods.
issue is the discoverability, right? That's always the issue. Is like why you choose to use one platform or another is that one is going to expose you to more customers and help with your marketing.
It
And
does. So
yeah.
yeah, I go to Grubhub and I can find, you can find what restaurants are open because it's better than Google as far as like, you know, the times
Oh,
updating.
so you just use it as a
Time.
search engine and then you go directly
Yes.
to them to order. Okay, that's good. I don't think most people are doing that.
Yeah, it's just a convenience thing, but you know, to understand that the fees that they take, and yeah,
Yeah.
if you go to their website, more of it's going to go to the restaurant. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. I know whenever I mean, like once a week, I get like a message from Uber Eats giving me like promo codes, Postmates giving me promo codes. So that's something else too. Is that the services are making it like really affordable for the consumer, like attracting the consumer to use their platform. Of course, because they end up making so much money off of the transaction.
And some of the restaurants I know, they just upcharge that fee,
Yeah.
and then when they go and see the menu there at the window, they go, "Oh, okay, next time." So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
again, it's all convenience fee.
Yeah.
Somebody from out of town just wants a quick bite to eat. They're not going to waste another 2 to 5 minutes to go around it. So they just go with it.
Yeah. Here in Vegas, something that's taken off. There's a company here called Secret Burger, um, started by a local food entrepreneur that would do like special one-off like off-menu items and create like a special event for releasing that menu item, just having like a special tasting or whatever. Um, and so of course they can't do those events anymore because there's no dining in, but this company has started working with the chefs within their networks to create these like cook with chef so and so at home, uh, and so you order it and you go pick up your kit from the restaurant and it has like all these bags and containers of all the ingredients that you'll use, and then they do like a professional Facebook live video.
Yeah, so Esther's was doing that?
Esther's did one. Yes, all the high profile restaurants here in town are doing it. All the high profile chefs are doing it.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible because it's very pricey for like cooking your own. And so it makes me think like how are they so successful in getting people? And a lot of it has to do with just the kind of like following that these chefs have, and I think that says a lot about the value of a restaurant is not just the food itself that you eat. Like you go to this restaurant and you get to eat this food and leave. It's like eating at this restaurant makes you a part of this community. It makes you a part of this following of this personality that you look up to and respect. So it's been kind of fascinating seeing that. It's caused me to ask a lot of questions, because Carrie at the Intuitive Forager Farmers Market downtown, um, I had offered her to help promote her boxes. So for like the same price of like getting one of these cooking kits from one of these chefs for like a single serving of one dish, you could get a whole box that will feed you for like 2 weeks, 3 meals a day. And so I told Carrie, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do it. And so I did that. All those dishes that I was sharing photos of, I actually like filmed cooking all of them with the Canon and the tripod in the kitchen. I have all of that footage, and I want to put it together into like a series of videos of like here's how everything in this box can be cooked, and there's like 15 different dishes that I made.
Yeah. I give it a try.
Right. So
yeah,
I told.
That's cool. That's why not? Yeah, here's a box for $70, and here's some recipes and some how-to videos of what you can do with it. Yeah, we've worked with these type of ingredients before, so
Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be my project next week. After this, virtual Tea Fest tomorrow, I'm gonna take a little breather for a few days, and then I'm gonna jump on that project, and try my
Yeah,
hand at some video editing because it's a lot of video. It's a lot.
yeah, I bet.
Um, then like I don't have the same foodie following that these really popular chefs have. But maybe it's something that I could develop, just through social media, creating some fun, engaging videos, and yeah, encourage people to cook for themselves.
Well, hopefully these people that are buying the boxes will provide their email address so that you can promote some of these cooking ideas to
Yeah,
them, and then yeah, get them to share it, and just overall just make people more aware of this. I think it's a really good idea.
yeah, yeah. Create community. Like I'm assuming that people that have already bought this box were already, a farmer's market customers that already know how to cook their stuff and already have their own practice and everything. So they don't really need someone like me to come in and tell them how to cook their vegetables. What I want to target this to is to people that never thought about shopping at a farmer's market, or never thought that they could have the confidence to make a really interesting dish with a bunch of greens or something. Um, but I think like tapping into that community that already exists and encouraging them to help co-create the content and the ideas could be really interesting. Because then they'll want to share it to their networks and say, "Hey, look, I'm like contributing to this interactive cookbook. Come check out what I've done." Could expose it to more people. Because yeah, I think people that like to cook they also have um, a similar passion like I do for like empowering others to cook more. But maybe they don't know how to, or maybe they're afraid that they'll be like that annoying friend that's like, your vegan friend that's always talking to you about how important being vegan is. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be like really fun, and like, and all the dishes that I made were like not hippie raw vegan dishes. Like, I was making like decadent food, like food that people, would be interested, comfort food, and things that people, normal people, non-farmers market people, would normally go for. Um, so yeah. Yeah, Terry, this is a farmers market project here in Las Vegas. Our friend Carrie Clasby has a company called Intuitive Forager. She's been growing this company for years and years and years, and all along the California coast of different farmers collecting their produce and transporting it here to Vegas to sell to all of the like fancy restaurants on the strip. And several years into building that company, she launched a farmers market so that all of the surplus from her restaurant sales could be shared with the community. And then recently, she's developed a box, so it's like super easy. It's a simple website. You just go in, and there's two options. I think they're trying to add a couple of more, but it's just a small box and a big box. And you can either have it delivery or curbside pickup. Um, so yeah, I think, and it's like so much less stressful than going to the grocery store, because the grocery stores are still pretty.
I think that's what attracts it to me, because yeah, I really, for me, I've been trying to avoid the grocery store.
Yeah.
I think that's where all the corona is.
Well, that and just like the politics, the community politics that are just, I don't know how it is in Austin, but here it's pretty bad. And there's a story in Michigan where someone actually got shot. Where different people have different ideas and perspectives about how we're supposed to be protecting ourselves and protecting the community from our germs, and so it's a combination of like dirty looks and like judgments and all of that, and then just everybody is just feeling overwhelmed with all the chaos and anxiety of being out in public. And then there's other people that like they're just going to the grocery store every day because that's just something to do. There's just a lot going on. The farmers market is very chill. I've gone there, I think, 4 times during the pandemic, and every time I've gone, it's been like really low traffic, and there's definitely politics about face mask and all of that there too, because some of the folks at the farmers market are very aggressive opinions about how ineffective face masks are and how much of a conspiracy this whole thing is, government conspiracy to gain control. So I don't know. I kind of feel like regardless of your opinion on that, I think you're welcome to have those ideas. There's a lot of valid arguments that should come first beyond any personal ideas that we have about the politics of what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, I think it's just doing enough. It'll be just like wearing a seatbelt. I mean.
No, Michael. There's there is a very strong demographic of our population that does not want that. They feel like their civil liberties are taken when we get to that point. So they're being very defiant, and it's just creating more and more conflict and divide. And that was good to me. It's like let's just build some harmony first, and then we can move on from there.
I think hopefully the airlines will be strict on it and will make it mandatory. And hopefully they'll do it in a proper way. And people will get trained and ideas will change, And those people that don't want to wear it, they'll find that they won't be able to fly. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the absolute first step would be if our leaders were to do it.
Correct. Yeah.
Even if it's not required, it's just like, okay, our president wearing one. Every time we see him on TV, he's wearing one. Okay, that's it. That's the culture.
Yeah, he's going to hear it today, I'm sure, from reporters. Just like how Pence, when he went to the Mayo Clinic.
It means a lot.
You can, you should learn from it, but you can't.
But they're probably doing it out of defiance, just like what I said. It's like they don't.
Yeah, for sure. That's him. Yeah, that's his.
There's like, no, like.
But he is, yeah.
That's fake news. This reporter is just trying to, low blow me right now. Like, this is not important. And it's like, that doesn't matter. What matters now is like solidarity and creating a culture to get us over this. Like, it's interesting.
I just wish it was only Trump that didn't have it on, because that's where he gets hit hardest, is when everybody sees everybody else wearing it except for him. That's when that's when it's most effective. It's like the guy that was giving maturity. He had one in his hand. He's like, man, he should just put it on. It would have, it would have said something even more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. If you don't like wearing a mask, just don't go out. That's my opinion on it. I don't like wearing the mask, so I just don't go out. And if I do go out, I've gone to the grocery store one time. I finally went. And yeah, I wore a mask the whole time. And when I saw people without a mask, I didn't give them dirty looks, but I'm thinking, this is interesting. Like, I would feel so insecure if I didn't have a mask on right now. I would feel so insecure that everybody's judging me and that everybody's hating me right now. So someone that's not wearing a mask is like...
That was, for the first, first 4 weeks, I had those Burning Man scarves.
Oh, yeah?
Those real, it's pretty big, it's like, actually it was hard to breathe, it's like, because it was so much.
Yeah. Yeah, the masks, they make it hard to breathe.
Yeah.
But on the controversy point, I discovered a new website by the CDC that I feel like completely just downplays all of the arguments for controversy or for this being a conspiracy. Is that and I don't know why no one ever talked about this before. Like, all of the different countries' health organizations have records of burials, of, like, official deaths. And this is, like, years and years of data. And they can create models to predict how many expected deaths. And across the board, at the end of March, every country's expected death, like the death number, like superseded it significantly. And the numbers almost match the same, pronounced, COVID-19 deaths. So it's like that data should be enough to let people know this is real. Like, this is not lying. Hospitals are not lying just to make more money. Like, no one's making money on this. Not a single person is making money. The only people making money are ones that are like newly investing in stocks and other stuff that's at a lower price right now. No one's making money. I don't understand. But anyway.
Yeah, I like how they're using like topology, the high resolution images, satellite imagery, to determine all the deaths. So I think we'll know soon enough. The full impact of this.
Yeah. I don't think that we have to rely on the numbers of death certificates that say COVID-19 on it. We can just use a process of elimination to be like, okay, this is how many heart attack deaths we were expecting. This is how many, accident deaths we were expecting. And this is how many deaths that actually happened. And that number doesn't lie. Like, no one's claiming that number's a lie. People are claiming that the attributed cause is the lie. But anyway, moral of the story is we should all take this very seriously, and regardless of what your opinion is on what's going on, most important is solidarity and just supporting our community. And if someone's giving you a dirty look at the grocery store, it's not because they're a jerk. It's you got to understand their perspective of what they're thinking. They've been told by their leaders, we have to do this. So then they're confused. Like, why? Anyway.
Yeah, it feels much better to walk around with a mask than without.
It does, yeah. You feel more secure, not health-wise, but just that, like, no one's judging you or no one's, like, feeling like you're a jerk.
People are going to get over this, because it's going to be the community that's going to do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't like wearing a mask, so I just stay home, and I'm pretty happy with that. Cool, Mike. Well, I think I'm going to sign off, get to work, get ready for tomorrow. But thanks for your help today. Thanks for having tea with me. It's good to connect. Happy to see you got your tea table flowing there in your living room.
Yeah, it flows every now and then. I was thinking about doing some matcha, but I was like, nah, tequila, Or maybe I'll do matcha next and then take a matcha bowl and then get back to work. Do some more coding.
What are you coding right now?
Coding interactive kiosks for Wildlife Museum. So, a lot of animals to go through. All right, Elise. Well, you have a good time.
Cool.
And good luck for tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Have fun with it, and hopefully don't let the trolls get you.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm trying to be the puppet, so
yeah.
They can attack the puppet if they want, not me personally.
Yeah, you're pretty good. You're pretty good at not feeding the trolls, so you get fun.
All right, Mike.
All right, see ya.